It's a good one where a husband completely foils his wife's plans to completely milk him for everything it's worth, then divorce him, and then, of course, milk him some more. And, of course, she, as well as her family, are making him out to be the bad guy here. And I'll be going to show you about the female accountability or lack of female accountability, as well as gaslighting and all those things that happen. Titled, Am I the a-hole for ending my marriage after finding out my wife was planning to leave me, but only after she stayed long enough to do a small career change? He says, last year my soon-to-be ex-wife, a 32-year-old female, told me she wanted to go from being an L&D nurse to a specific cancer nurse. Nurse, that says it all. She was returning to college, cutting back her hours at work, and aiming to be finished in 2 years. I was supportive, although a little surprised. Okay, in other words, okay, honey, you want to go back to school, change your career a little bit, or different type of nursing, potentially make more money? No problem. So she's scaling back work, and he's going to take on more to help her, because he's a good husband. Well, watch this. She always seemed happy with her career and life with our 2 boys. But I know some people can spontaneously get the urge for something or more different, so it wasn't a big deal to me. It did put some strain on me. Because she was so busy, I had to take on a lot more so she could do less. Previously, it had been 50-50, and it went to about 80-20 after she returned to education. So I'm assuming he means 80% of the bills he's paying for, as well as 80% of everything else he's doing to help her. About 4 months ago, she started back at college, and I overheard her and her best friend talking. I wasn't due home for an hour, but I've been able to leave early, and the kids are with me. My ex's friend was asking her how she could manage to stay married and keep up the pretense. He's listening in like, what pretense? My ex said if she left me, she would never be able to make the career move. She wouldn't have the time to be a single parent and work and train for her specialty. And that I was able to support her through as long as I didn't know she wanted to out of our marriage and would leave as soon as she secured the new job. What a snake. This guy's like, no problem, go ahead, scale back from work or not work at all, go to school, I'll take care of everything. And all along, she's planned doing this on purpose, and the second she's done, is going to kick him to the curb. And I'm sure rake him through the coals in divorce. She's just a snake. Her friend said it would all blow up in her face when I realized, and she said she didn't care. Nice girl. Always monkey branching or always trying to do something better and screw the guy over. And that she effed herself over by working even when she had kids. Otherwise, she could have left and made me support them until she got a job. I waited until her friend went home and the kids were in bed, and I told her that the marriage was over and I was not going to be used until she got what she wanted. Good for him. No hesitation, no drama. It's over. She told me I heard it wrong and I was overreacting. There you go, the gaslighting. You didn't hear it right. No, I heard everything you said. She was ready for an argument. Shocker. But I told her not where the kids could hear, and we waited until the kids were out of the house, and we headed out with each other. Don't ever waste your time arguing with a woman, guys. It's pointless. Just walk away. She told me that I was selfish and shouldn't punish her for changing her mind about us. He's not punishing her about changing her mind about them, the marriage. What he's doing is saying it's over, and I'm not going to support you and work my tail off while you milk me. You're using me. She said if I was a good man, I'd encourage her to leave her job and offer to support her until she's ready to leave. Nice trick, sweetheart. He's not that dumb. In the end, I filed for divorce and moved out of the home. I wanted to fight for the home since I lived there before we were together, but her name was on the deed and I didn't want my kids to live in a conflict-ridden home. They were already going through a lot, and this divorce has been difficult for them. So notice he said, I wanted to fight for the home as I lived there before we were together. In other words, it was his place. But somehow, I guess in the process, he put her name on the deed. I don't know. Didn't want to take the kids out of the house they know. So in the end, he loses the place. Again, gentlemen, this is the crap that guys go through. There says here, they were already going through a lot, and the divorce has been hard on them. Their mom hates me now. Their grandparents and aunts and uncles hate me, and they're not allowed to talk about me around them. How is it they all hate him when she's the one that was going to divorce this dude anyway? That she was the one that was deliberately using them. I think it's a combination. I think it's either A, she's controlling the narrative, telling everybody her version of this. Of course, he's the bad guy. Or B, they're just a bunch of assholes. I'm inclined to believe there's a combination of both. But the kids can't talk about their dad in front of them. That's terrible. And she's going to do everything she can to poison those kids against him. Fucking snake. And I'm trying to hide how sad I am around them, but I fear they picked up on it. My ex is fighting the divorce, and her family are telling me that I'm selfish, and I should understand that a woman has the right to ensure her stability before ending a marriage. Well, usually ensuring her stability is raking the guy over the coals, which she was going to do anyway. Fighting the divorce, she's going to end him anyway. I'd tell these family members to fuck off. But she'd be stable without college. Her job was secure, and before this, she worked enough hours to support herself and the kids alone as she had to. She simply doesn't want to continue in the job. I don't feel like I owe her that support. But maybe I'm wrong about this, and like she and her family say, maybe I'm the a-hole. Smack! No, you're not the a-hole. You're just being bombarded by all this, and you're worn down. You're starting to question yourself. No, your initial reaction was the correct one. She was plotting and scheming to milk you for everything it's worth, make you work all this extra overtime and everything else, and then drop you like that. No way. If the situation was reversed, and this was a woman writing the story about the husband trying to milk her, I'd have no problem if she dumped him. None. Same thing. It's just despicable. And by the way, he said she's a nurse. Ha ha. We all know that joke. And she's already making enough money to support herself and the kids and all that on her own. She wanted to move up on his dollar. No thanks. But anyhow, this guy, in my opinion, should just listen to his lawyer, make sure all communication goes through the lawyer about the divorce, that type of thing. And that's that. And keep reassuring the kids, hey, I love you. It's not your fault, da-da-da-da. And not let her poison them against him. But obviously, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and she's going to do that. So you better be careful. But I guarantee her and the family are going to make life a living hell. So once again, gents, this is a reminder to think twice before, or think thrice, or 4 times, or 5 times, and 10 times before you think you want to say I do and get married, because this is the kind of crap that can happen to husbands out there. Even as good of a husband you may be, or even you think you got a great girl. A lot of guys who thought they had great girls, they turn to be not so great girls. Now a few comments here. One guy says here, not the a-hole. Like you said, she was using you, and you found out. That's not the risk she took. No one should expect you to just sit around and wait while she sets up the perfect life for herself. I think the fact that she's shit-talking you to all your extended family and dragging the kids through it tells you everything you need to know about what kind of person she is. Yeah, I guarantee you this person who she is now is not the person he thought she was. But probably is all who she was. This is probably the case of where she married this guy because she wanted a ring, wanted kids, wanted to be married, and just like probably her friends, I will to bet you, I can do better. I'm so amazing. Wait till she's single on her own in her early 30s and a single mom with 2 kids. She's not going to be so desirable to guys out there. Trust me. He says here also, it's going to suck for a while so the divorce can pan out, but it will get better. Put your kids first, and they will thank you for it when they're old enough to understand. Hopefully, or she doesn't try to screw up the relationship. Another guy says, you're not the a-hole. She's been extremely manipulative, gaslighting you and saying you heard wrong and overreacting for starters, then turning people against you. But the most sick part is that she got her own children afraid to talk about their own dad in front of other people. That is said is something I experienced as a teenager. However, I was able to call my parents out on it and stopped as they saw how it impacted me. Well, you said teenager. These are little kids. So the little kids a couple 6-year-olds aren't going to do that. She's not even trying to repair the marriage. She's openly saying you should let her go, and as a stepping stone to be a better career before she leaves you anyway, disgusting. By the way, I love how the comment section on this one is totally supporting the guy. It's usually not the case. Now, one more. This guy says, so it's okay for her to lead the marriage on her terms, but you're not allowed to do the same. That's a tad one-sided, is it? As long as you're paying your child support or 50-50 parenting, then you're doing exactly the right thing. Why on earth should you let her sponge off you? What a user she is. Why does she want out of your marriage anyway? Has she met someone else, not the a-hole? Well, women don't usually leave marriages or relationships unless they have already somebody in backup. Okay, so there probably is somebody else. But then again, she was playing the long game. She was going to go to school for a couple of years and milk it and have him work extra overtime when she didn't have to work so she can get her additional degree or whatever, then leave him. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sausage on the side, so he's going to have to do his homework here. But it may not matter anyway, depending on where he lives. So anyhow, guys, there you go with the gaslighting, lack of accountability, twisting things around. And I really hope this works out for him.